The news yesterday that Yahoo had, without noticing, been robbed of data on 1 billion users capped a year in which hacking has rarely been out of the news. The idea that the Russians might try to steal emails in order to discredit a candidate in an American presidential election would have seemed preposterous a decade ago. Now, it's what intelligence services think actually happened. 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 It's a development with all sorts of implications, not least the questions it raises for journalists about how they should treat stolen information. Well, Newsnight's editor, Ian Katz, who was involved in covering some of the biggest leaks of recent years, decided to dust off his reporter's notebook.
Good afternoon. I'm still reporting on the Clintons. Ex-British Ambassador Craig Murray has just admitted to being the source of the DNC email leaks that were put out by WikiLeaks. In an exclusive story running in this morning's Daily Mail, a British newspaper, Murray says that he flew to Washington and in a clandestine meeting in a wooded area near American University in northwest Washington, D.C., took physical possession of the email trove that came from disgusted whistleblowers inside the DNC who had legal access to the data. Although Murray declined to name names, he said that there were others, plural, inside the DNC who were involved. Many of those watching this situation closely now believe that one of those responsible for the leak was the DNC's Voter Expansion Data Director, 27-year-old Seth Rich. Rich would have had broad admin privileges covering all email traffic within the DNC. Rich was found shot in the back multiple times on July 10th, about a block from his home, 2 miles north of the U.S. Capitol building at 4:20 a.m., early on Sunday morning, after staying up all night at his job at the DNC. The killer did not take Rich's wallet, watch, or cell phone. Julian Assange offered a $20,000 reward for info on who killed Rich and has insisted throughout that the DNC emails were not the result of a Russian hack. Assange has not been heard from since his last tweet on November 6th, the Sunday before Election Day. "Hey, at Hillary Clinton, you have until Monday to drop out or we will destroy you completely." The final set of emails was never revealed before Assange's strange disappearance. Murray's claim flies in the face of the CIA/Democrat/MSM narrative that Russia hacked the DNC emails, then sent them to Assange to try to help Donald Trump win the presidential election. Therefore, the U.S. should go to war with Russia. However, the truth seems to be slowly emerging that the WikiLeaks emails were provided on a thumb drive handed to Murray a few months ago. Murray knew he was being closely watched by U.S. intelligence because one of his attempts to enter the U.S. was blocked over the weekend of September 6th and 7th of this year. Why was Murray on their watch list? Because as the British ambassador to Uzbekistan, Murray had discovered that Muslims were being tortured in that country at the behest of the U.S. and the U.K. in an old Stalinist gulag in the middle of the Kazal-Kum Desert. He released that information and was subsequently removed from his post amid allegations of misconduct. However, he was subsequently cleared of wrongdoing, but his links to WikiLeaks today are well known. In any case, Murray did eventually get into the U.S. and met with someone in the woods near American University. He said that person he met with was not the original person who obtained the information, but an intermediary. Murray said earlier this week that the CIA allegation that Russia was behind all of this is totally false. Murray said earlier this week that the CIA allegation that Russia was behind all of this is totally false. They are absolutely making it up. I know who leaked them. I've met the person who leaked them, and they are certainly not Russian. It's a leak, not a hack. The two are different things, said Murray. America has not been shy about arresting whistleblowers, and it's not been shy about extraditing hackers. They plainly have no knowledge whatsoever. Top retired intelligence officials this week backed Murray's claims, saying if CIA had the evidence, they would have named names. Yesterday, a Congressional Intelligence Committee demanded that current intel officials come to testify before them today to explain what evidence they had. All of those who were called to appear refused yesterday, an unprecedented event. Why? Because they know their story is in itself fake news, and it most likely will be exposed sooner or later. But if they lie before the committee, they would be open to perjury charges for lying to Congress. So they preferred to hide out and continue to spread their malicious gossip via compliant members of the MSM, like the Washington Post. All they want to do is not get found out before the Electoral College meets on Monday. Their goal is to try to do maximum damage to Donald Trump's chances of winning the presidency by flipping enough electors to either change the result or at least provide an argument that can weaken Trump's presidency and make it harder to gain re-election. And in the meantime, this bogus story provides a handy smokescreen so that the tidal wave of emails that WikiLeaks did release to the public does not get any further damning attention in the MSM. I've covered this story previously in SR 1070, 1105, 1106, and 1396. I'm still reporting from Washington, and Merry Christmas!
Perhaps one detail of the US hacking story embodies the very human vulnerability Kieran Martin and his counterparts can do little about. When John Podesta received his fateful Spearfish mail, an aide sent it to his IT department. A staffer replied, saying it was legitimate. That staffer now says it was a typo. He meant to type illegitimate. It's a heart-stopping thought. The course of history, changed perhaps by 2 missing letters.